Hey everyone, Sean here. I just got back from the Detroit Retro Gaming Show. They have the Detroit Retro Gaming Show a couple times a year, and I've always gone to, I think, every single one, if not close to every single one that they've had. I figured it'd be kind of cool to film it to kind of just show, what's there. This one was kind of on the smaller side. Normally they have it in a much larger pavilion area. This one was in a pretty small little center, but still had a lot of good stuff. I went with a couple of my buddies, Rob and Brandon, and Brandon usually looks for big box PC games, and Rob looks for really rare, expensive things that I couldn't imagine spending all of the money that he does spend on stuff. But this was my first time like really filming an event while walking around, and I learned a lot. One, I'm terrible at it, and I need to get better at it. If you guys find this interesting, please let me know if you want more of this, because I didn't do a good job of this. I think at the end of it, I had like 10 minutes of video footage before the camera battery died. I don't even know what I'm doing wrong. So clearly I need to bring with me extra batteries. And the other thing was, a lot of times I just kind of like flew by what I was looking at. I really should have just focused on an item and, gave myself room to talk about it for a voiceover. I didn't do that, so we're gonna see how terrible this voiceover is. I do apologize. This was my first attempt at doing this, and hopefully I learn from this, and the next event that I film is hopefully gonna be a lot better. Well, let's jump over to the video footage, and I'll switch over to my voiceover. And at the end, I will go over all the things that I purchased. And if you're new to this channel, don't get too excited thinking I'm gonna buy some holy grail item. I usually buy something really stupid every time. So stay tuned to find out what really dumb item I bought this time. All right, first up was Palace Games. I see them at all these conventions, and I've been to their shop before. It's got a lot of cool stuff, like this Vectrex right there. Man, I really want a Vectrex. They're so impractical, huge, and they're just super rad. We got a Smoke N64, cleaned one of those up on the channel. Nintendo Top Loader. Obviously you got your Wii U, Master System, Genesis, your normal stuff. Over here we got, looks like Amiibos and such. And then there's a Virtual Boy in the box. I wonder if someone's gonna leave with that today. Over here we got some custom t-shirts. I don't know what booth this one was. Gold N64, Famicom. There's a silver PSP. That's pretty rad. A bunch of Nintendo Powers. Let's see. We got... I thought those were super cool. The Super Mario figurine, the little jump guys. I had the one on the right when I was a kid. I wish I still had that. Obviously your NES and your Nintendo 64 normal stuff here. That was all video game soundtracks, which I thought was kind of neat. I like the Crab Grab game, Game & Watch. Unfortunately, the reflection really kind of ruined it, but that was a cool Odyssey box, that complete one there, for the Magnavox Odyssey 2. Nintendo. We got Carnival Games. There you go. There's a solid winner. The problem is I was just kind of flying by this stuff and not really focusing on anything. These were really cool. PlayStation 2 sign. And then this World of Nintendo sign and a Nintendo 64 sign. I cannot possibly afford that at all. But I think they're really rad. So Rob collects everything Diablo related, and I'm very surprised he didn't buy this. He did haggle with them repeatedly, but just didn't end up buying it. We got obviously some Musha. There's a winner. There's a big boy. And then here we go. Here's now we're speaking my language. 4 parts not working. Weird emoji on the side there. Just disgusting, horrific condition. PlayStations. Then we got 2 games that Rob picked up here. Pokemon Red, and then we got Pokemon Yellow. Somehow he didn't own either of those. But yeah, he picked those up. And got a bunch of Famicom games here. There was a couple I picked up that I was interested, but I didn't end up buying them. Great story, Sean. That was really helpful. They really appreciated knowing that you just didn't buy something. Lots of Mega Man. Look at all those Mega Mans. Funko Pops.
Not really my thing, but I know people love those. I just couldn't get into them. It's kind of like Beanie Babies to me, but hey, if that's your thing, I'm happy for you. Some cool horror action figures. This guy was cool, Retro Dog. I had never seen him before, but I ended up buying a few things from him. This guy I've actually bought pins from. He's in Toy Box Games. I have a Lucy pin that I purchased from him from last convention. Lucy from the Cyberpunk anime. Whatever. There we have an Atari 600 XL in the box. That's pretty rad. These really caught my eye. I didn't film it because I'm dumb, but that blue one, I talked to the owner about it. I just couldn't justify paying $200 for that rental case, but it was custom molded to the actual Sega. It wasn't like foam inserts. I thought that was neat. I'd never seen one before. More Smoke, N64, the blue. I don't know what the blue one's called. Blue, I guess. Deadpool Monopoly was kind of cool. I didn't know what this was, but I just liked the design of that box. This guy was cool. He makes all those signs custom. I'm guessing they're 3D printed. I thought it might be kind of cool to have a sign made for my channel, maybe. Here we go. Now here's where it really catch my eye. A Pokemon camera. Oh yeah. So this was a McDonald's sign from obviously a McDonald's. When I walked in, there were people just talking about it. Like, did you see the guy who has a McDonald's sign? Yeah. So it was the. Speaking of that, there's a free personal pan pizza. I wonder if you can still redeem that from Pizza Hut. I wonder if that's still good. Brandon showing me a cool controller that I just thought was neat because you could see through it and you saw little tails in there. Obviously, Rob with more Diablo stuff, he did actually purchase that, even though I don't think Rob knows how to read. I really don't know what Brandon's showing me here, but you guys can look at it. Mortal Kombat 4 for the Game Boy Color. I didn't know this existed, and I love Mortal Kombat. You know that's got to be terrible, so of course I have to buy that. And then bunch of Nintendo powers, just so many Nintendo powers. This I thought was super cool. I love Cyberpunk, and this was the Steelbook. I know this isn't like rare or anything like that, but I thought it was neat, so I picked that up. Digimon, I had one of those as a kid. I thought that was super cool, and I was tempted to buy that, but I thought better of myself, and I bought something probably much more stupid. Let's see. Anything else neat over here? 50-cent Blood in the Sand. There you go. And then anytime I see loose PlayStation games, you know I'm going to be digging through them. I have a weird addiction to just finding miscellaneous pieces and then putting together a full, complete game. So I'll find a loose game, then I'm like, well, now I gotta find the case, and now I gotta find the manual, or I'll find just the manual, and be like, well, now I gotta find those other pieces. I'm insane. Rob was showing me some big name games in this case here that he was really excited about. And then there's Wario Woods. I think that was the last game on the NES. I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
And the battery died in the camera at that moment, which is very disappointing because that's not a lot of footage. So either I'm gonna have to buy more GoPro batteries, or maybe invest in one of those big chunky, little like batteries you plug your like phone or whatever into. Or maybe this is terrible and all the comments should say, Sean, please don't do this anymore. This is the first time I've ever used my GoPro since I bought it, so this is what we got out of that. Well, at least we learned, right? But anyways, you guys probably want to see what I bought. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm gonna show you what I bought. You can look at it if you want. Let's get the most obvious two out of the way first. I had to buy these horrific PlayStations. We got the PlayStation 1 here for parts not working with some goofy emoji on there, and then a PS1 that, it won't stay closed, and both the power and open button are just physically smushed in place. This is the worst PS1 I've ever seen in my entire life. So when you go to an event like the Detroit Retro Gaming Show, where they have all of these very high-end items and all of the you saw the Virtual Boy in the box, that complete in box Virtual Boy at the beginning. That's a high-end, amazing item. Rob purchased that. Of course he bought that. That was the first thing he bought was that. And the first thing I bought were these two broken, worst items that were in the entire store. That kind of shows the difference of where I'm at with what I buy versus what most people go to those events for. They go there to buy the nice, cool, like holy grail items. I got really excited for two broken PlayStations, so you know, I felt bad for them. I have a problem, okay? After that, obviously I bought Mortal Kombat 4. This seems like this has to be terrible. There's no way Mortal Kombat 4 on a Game Boy Color could possibly be a good game. None of the Mortal Kombats, to my knowledge, on any of the handhelds were any good, so I had to get Mortal Kombat 4, which actually you would already know that if you're subscribed to the Patreon, because the two PlayStations, the next item I'm gonna show, were all featured on my Patreon because I tested them all out over there. So thank you to anyone that subscribed to that, and you already got to see this. So you obviously saw this in the video as well. This was the Cyberpunk 2077 Steelbook. I actually don't have a physical copy of the game. I just really like the Steelbook. I bought it on Steam for PC when I played it. I just think the Steelbook is really cool looking. It makes a pretty neat display piece. The next few items I purchased, I didn't film because my camera had already died by then. I got a manual for WWF Warzone. Like I mentioned before, I have a very strange addiction where if I have a loose copy of the game or I have the case or whatever and I don't have it complete, if I find one of the pieces, oh, I get so excited. I get so excited to put all of the pieces together. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm pretty sure I bought a loose copy of the disc at a flea market like a year or two ago, and now I have the manual. So now all I'm gonna have to do is find the actual backing, and I will feel complete once I do that, and I can't explain it. But anyways, yep, I found just a single loose manual for that, and that's not all. I found the backing part for a GameCube game. Same concept, just I have a loose copy of Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube, and now I have a very terrible condition, but whatever, it was serviceable. It was like $1, so I didn't pay like anything for it. But now I can do, well, hang on. So I went and I had picked up another actual GameCube case. So now I can put these together, right? Slip my very beat up backing that I purchased and my official GameCube case that I purchased, not at the same place. I didn't buy this case at the event. I only bought the paper backing at the event, but there we go. Look at that. Look how terrible that looks. Isn't that fantastic? I'm genuinely so happy right now. I'm not even kidding. I know this is like the worst chewed up condition Super Mario Sunshine backing that I could have possibly found, but it was $1, okay? And now I have it, because somewhere in my collection I have a loose copy of Super Mario Sunshine, and I can now put that in here, and now my collection looks a little better, just a smidge better, and it fills a weird little hole in my heart every single time I'm able to do that. It's a weird problem, I know. Anyways, after that, so I realized, man, I bought two broken PlayStations, a game that admittedly is going to be terrible, two pieces of paper for $1. I paid to get in here, right? I need to get some cool item, or at least for me, cool. For most people, this probably won't be cool at all, but for me, I think this is cool. So I found someone that was selling a bunch of not for resale, like the demo, like store kiosk kind of like cartridges. And I picked one, and this was the one I picked, Mario Pinball Land. Now you may be thinking, what was the deciding factor? Was it because it was the cheapest one he had? Yes. Yeah, that was really it. That was actually the entire deciding factor. But it doesn't matter. It was still a not for resale copy of Mario Pinball Land with the not for resale sticker where it says it's a demo, and then the property of Nintendo on the back. I wish it said what store number it was, but Obviously that didn't actually get written on there. This was also tested on the Patreon as well. So yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. I didn't have a not for resale kind of store display cartridge for the Game Boy Advance. And that was kind of I was like, I need some sort of big purchase. When I say big, I don't necessarily mean like spending whatever, like hundreds of dollars or anything like that. I kind of mean something that I don't normally see. Like this I could probably find at a game store. Obviously those broken consoles I can find at a game store. I could probably find the case for Mario Sunshine, stuff like that. But a not for resale, you know, demo cartridge is kind of rare. You know, it's not, you can find them on eBay, obviously. You can find these, but it's not something that you see every day, or at least I don't see it every day. So I had to pick up at least one, hey, that's kind of cool item, you know? So that was that. That was my big purchase. But don't worry, there's still one more item. I tried leaving, and that was it. I tried spending, that was all the money I was planning on spending, and that was gonna be the end of it. But my buddy Rob, who was with me, convinced me I had to leave with this. There was no way I don't leave without this. I was trying to leave the building and he physically stopped me and restrained me and made sure that I purchased this. A sealed with the awful, terrible, awkward blister pack, greatest hits blister pack here of Namco Museum Volume 3. Look at this thing in not even perfect condition or anything like that. So this was my last purchase. It was this. Do I feel good about myself owning this? No. But you know what? I do now. And that's something I can say, you know, when I'm old and in my retirement home or whatever, and looking back at my life, I can go, you know what? I have a greatest hits version of Namco Museum 3 still sealed in a blister pack. And not everyone can say that, you know? Can you say that down there in the comments? I bet not. I bet not. If you have $20 in an eBay account, you probably could, because I don't think this is actually worth much. But I don't know. It's just a goofy item. I have a handful of sealed items that are all valueless items, and I think it's funny to collect valueless sealed items. I know it upsets people. I don't care. It's funny to me. Anyways, that's it. That's everything I bought. It's not an exciting haul. I warned you. This was not going to be a, oh my god, I can't believe you got Namco Museum sealed for the PlayStation. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I genuinely do want your feedback. What would you like to see, I guess, differently? Yeah, if you have tips on how to film that better and not have it look like it did. I hope this is entertaining. Leave a comment down below. What would you have purchased if you were there? Would it have been Namco Museum sealed? Leave a comment. I would love to know. And also, the Patreon, that exists. You can subscribe if you want. It's $1. Why would you subscribe? I don't know, maybe you have too many dollars. That's a thing. I'll get rid of one of them for you, right? I have a Discord. You can join in on the chat. That's kind of the end of the video. So I love all of you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you sat through this. I love you guys. Goodbye.